One of many videos that now crowd our social media feeds. A Ukrainian infantry fighting vehicle knocking out a Russian tank in a village outside Kyiv. The vehicle fires repeated rounds from its 30mm cannon before moving on to a fresh target. We may be awed by the drone videos and high-tech weapon systems, but this is still very much a conventional conflict. Groups of men supported by armoured vehicles moving across fields and along roads, trying to stay out of the way of enemy artillery. If Ukraine is to have a chance of repelling and pushing back Russian forces in the south and east of the country, it needs heavy weapons, tanks, armoured personnel carriers, artillery, which is why President Zelensky has been calling for them so urgently. In this war, every piece of armoured equipment counts, as military analyst Jiří Vojáček explains.
Lots of people have a distorted view of how war today is waged. The overwhelming majority, 90% of military activity, is conducted in an unsophisticated way. War is still fought pretty much the same way it was during the Second World War. That means you've got a street in a village somewhere. At one end of the street are 100 guys from Ukraine. On the other end of the road are 100 guys from Russia. They go against each other, and the ones left standing at the end of it are the ones who control the street. And if one of those two groups of guys are backed up with an armoured vehicle, even if it's one of these unmodernised infantry fighting vehicles from the 70s or 80s, then it's a huge help to the soldiers.
Even before Russia invaded on February the 24th, the Czech Republic was already supplying small arms and ammunition to Ukraine. We know 4,000 rounds of artillery munitions were sent to Kyiv, as well as assault rifles, anti-tank weapons and rocket-propelled grenades. But on April the 5th, an open-source intelligence account on Twitter shared photos of what it said were 5 T-72 main battle tanks and 5 BMP-1 infantry fighting vehicles loaded onto flatbed railway trucks pictured on a siding somewhere in the Czech Republic.
Česko zřejmě dodává napadené Ukrajině I těžké zbraně.
Later that day, Czech television broadcast images of people standing for selfies in front of them. They weren't even covered in tarpaulins at a Czech railway station. The Czech Defence Minister Jana Černochová was asked by MPs in Parliament whether she could confirm that her country was sending tanks and heavy weapons to Ukraine.
The photos doing the rounds on social media, can I confirm or deny them? I'm sorry, but I can neither confirm nor deny them. All I can do is assure you that the Czech Republic, the government of Peter Fiala, is helping Ukraine with all its might and will continue to help by sending both heavy and light military material.
And under the cover of that strategic ambiguity, the Czechs have been sending lots of military equipment to the country. It's coming either from the army's own stores or Czech-based arms dealers. Some of it is bought with an incredibly successful crowdfunding campaign set up by the Ukrainian embassy in Prague and the Czech Defence Ministry. On the site, people send money to a bank account, and the embassy uses that money to buy weapons for the Ukrainian armed forces. They arrive within days. There's even a price list. An anti-ballistic helmet is €192. A Czech-made RPG-75 anti-tank grenade is €818. A radar system is €8,000. At time of writing, the crowdfunder has raised almost 1 billion Czech crowns. That's almost €41 million. So it's fair to say Czechs, like people across Europe and the world, feel deeply about this conflict. And there's no question they've been quick to put their money where their mouths are to help Ukraine defend itself. Rob Cameron,